What's up, everybody? How are you tonight? So, gotta love technology. You gotta love how things some don't want to work, and so that has been tonight. So, us and work well, and we'll be able to get you a decent broadcast tonight of home meetings. And we are so thankful that you're here. So thankful that you're a part of us. And look, God calls you to do stuff into the digital world. There's just going to be some digital things that are a pain in the butt. And so I appreciate everyone with that. Just that. Don't let it distract you from what Jesus wants to do in you and through you, and just allow you to receive tonight.
We're just they're here and tuning in. Welcome again to Common Ground and Matt Brown, who is going to lead us in worship.
Yeah, we got Matt Brown back for some worship.
There's nothing worth more that will ever come close. Nothing can compare. You are living hope. Your presence, Lord. Tasted and I've seen the sweetest of love. My heart is free. Name is undone. In your presence, Lord. Your presence, Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Glory, God, is what we overcome by your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what hearts long for. To overcome in your presence, Lord. We enter in, Lord. We enter in, Lord. Let me become more aware. Your presence, let us become more aware of glory. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience of your goodness. Yes. Out in your presence, oh. Holy Spirit, you welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory is what I long for. To be over your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what my heart longs for. Your presence, Lord. We worship you, God. We're not afraid to glorify your name. We're not afraid to praise wherever we are, Lord. Wherever. When the music fades, all is stripped away. I simply lost to start. that's a word that will bless your heart. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things appear. You're looking into my heart, Lord, and I'm calling heart of worship. About you, it's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the things I've made it. When it's all about you, it's all about you, Jesus. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I made it. When it's all about you, it's all about you, Jesus. King of endless worth, no one could express how much you deserve. Though I'm weak and poor, all I have is yours, every single day. When the music fades, all is stripped away, and I simply come, longing just to bring. I want to bring something that's of worth, that will bless your heart. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. My God, you search much deeper within, through the way things appear. You're looking into our hearts. We're coming back, Lord. We're coming back to the heart of worship. And it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I've made it. But it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. Bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search me, Lord. You search much deeper within, through the way things appear. You're looking into my heart. Sing it to him. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I made it. When it's all about you, it's all about you, Jesus. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. It's all about you. It's all about you. God, we glorify you. We invite the Spirit into this night of our lives. God, we receive from Pastor Ian and Leandra. God, we just open ourselves to receive of your word, God, and I pray that we go into it open and come out more full. In Jesus' name. Pastor Ian.
Hey, Thank you so much, buddy, for that, man. How amazing and wonderful. Man, if you're tuning in, thank you for being with us. Disregard the heading, the everything with the description. It defaulted to Tuesday's thing. Tech is a wonderful thing, and it's also just the blessed assurance of joy that we can always have. But hey, tech is what's bringing this to you and making this possible. So we thank Jesus for that. And if you can hear everything okay, put some thumbs up in the chat there, because we're definitely having some issues just with some audio. And again, our apologies. We will see what that is. I will be making some calls over the next couple of days, but you're not here for that. So at any rate, hey, I had labeled this not Tuesday Talks, Testing and Transition, but The Kid Next Door. I just wanted to talk about the kid next door. No, I'm not talking about the one that constantly kicks the ball at your window at your house. True story, though. When we were living in this townhome, no lie, this kid every single day would go to the playground, and there was monkey bars, and he wasn't playing basketball, he wasn't playing soccer, wasn't playing baseball. He would constantly try to spike the ball through the holes of the monkey bars and would continually fail to the point where the ball would hit the monkey bars and shot like a cannon back to our bedroom window. And we did not have like the best of windows, so it was like old school aluminum single pane window, and so when it would hit, it would shake the whole house, townhome there, and so you would just hear it all through the townhome. And he never cared, even though one time I got so annoyed because we had just put the kids down for bed and went outside and was like, what the heck, man? And he like took off down the sidewalk. I chased him. Not the happiest moment of my life, but I chased him and walked back, and it didn't scare him. So apparently I wasn't scary enough, because he was only gone for a couple of days, and the next thing we know, he's back and the ball is ricocheting off the monkey bars and hitting the window there. And so that is just my quick story about the kid next door there. But I actually want to talk about Jesus, the kid next door. Jesus, the kid next door. And I want to equate it to this. And I want us to think about Jesus, the kid next door, to the point in our life as sometimes we're the kid next door. We're the one who seems to just be the normal person. The person that everyone kind of looks at and expects this to behave this way or act this way, or because we've seen them our whole life, we know that they are this type of person, and we don't give them the benefit of the doubt. And so we're going to go to Luke 4, 16 through 30 is really where we're gonna lie tonight. And so it's Luke 4, 16 through 30. And so it says, when he came to the village of Nazareth, his boyhood home. I'm reading out of the Living, y'all. So just so you know, like, why it probably sounds a little like not normal and religious. And so he went to the village of Nazareth, his boyhood home, and he went as usual to the synagogue on the Sabbath and stood up to read the scriptures. And the scroll of Isaiah, the prophet, was handed to him. He unrolled the scroll. He found the place where it was written, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim that the captives will be released, and that the blind will see, and that the oppressed will be set free. And at that time of the year of the Lord's favor has come." So he goes into the synagogue. The kid next door is going to his hometown, and they're like, "Oh, look, it's Jesus." And so we remember him. Let's have him read, da 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 da. And so he's reading, And what they don't even understand in this moment is what's being fulfilled by the kid next door, by the one that they get annoyed with because the ball constantly ricochets off of the monkey bars and hits your window. You're the one that you look at and you yell and you chase down the street. Again, not my happiest and proudest moment, but I know if you were honest with yourself that you're not alone, I'm not alone, and you're not alone in feeling like sometimes the kid next door is you. And so here's Jesus, and he says that he rolled up the scroll, he handed it back to the attendant, and sat down. In other words, Jesus mic dropped the scroll back to the attendant. Done. Fulfilled prophecy, fulfilled what I was supposed to do, brought it back from the Old Testament into the New Testament, and I literally told you without you even understanding why I am here. I'm here because the Spirit of the Lord has been and is upon me. He had already gone through, if you checked out on Tuesday, he went through the wilderness. He was already baptized by his relative, John the Baptist, with the washing of water, and then the Spirit fell upon him, and he was into the wilderness, fulfilling what God asked him to do. But he's basically saying, look, you guys, you don't understand. I've done a little bit, but what I'm going to do from this moment forward is far greater than what you saw in Capernaum. What's happening is Jesus is trying to set the stage for what it's going to look like for the remaining years of him on the earth, like saying, hey, y'all, look, I've been anointed. And not only have I've been anointed, but I'm bringing the news to those that you've rejected. I'm bringing the news to the ones that you've put off to the wayside. I'm bringing the news to the downtrodden. I'm bringing the news to the shepherds that you didn't even want to talk to, but I revealed myself to them first and let them see me first in the manger along with Mary and Joseph.
Jesus, this is
and then
good.
I came to bring them freedom. I'm coming to bring freedom, he says. I'm coming to set you free, not just from your habits, not just from the things that trip you up, not just from the lustful things that we are attracted to and we fall victim to. Hello, I'm not alone. We got to remove the mask, remove the barrier, remove the thing that says, oh, well, I'm in the synagogue and I'm reading. No, he's saying I'm reading this because I'm here for you. I'm the only one that's able to read this scroll in this moment and actually do something about it. Y'all read it, but have no fruit from it. I'm reading it and I'll give you fruit and freedom, is what he's saying. And so he continues to go on and basically say, now is the time. Now is the time that all the years that you've been waiting, you're about ready to see that which you've been waiting for come to pass. And so he rolled it up. And it says, all the eyes in the synagogue looked at him intently. This is like, let's see. This is like when, for all those parents, this is like when you trying to check out at the grocery store and your kid's throwing an ever-loving fit and you're about ready to walk out without your groceries. Because you're like, look, I can't take it no more. Everybody and their mother has come around the corner and they're now turned the corner and they looking at me like this. You gonna take care of that child? Because I'll come over there if you won't. So I know none of you feel that way. I'm just gonna be real as real can be for you tonight, that technology has got me messed up and mad today. And so I'm gonna take it out and I'm just gonna let it have it. But here's the deal. Like, I know I'm not alone in that. I know other parents out there that you have left things in the store that you needed because your kid started to cry. True story. I'll tell another story. True story. First child. We're in the grocery store. And it was, I think we had just fed Adara. I'll tell you, it was my oldest, Adara. She 8 now. And, and she was fussing up. We had already fed her. And she just wouldn't settle down. I mean, we probably literally only had a few more things. And we bounced, y'all. Like, we took the car seat out. I left everything, took them home, and literally went back to the store. What sense does that make, y'all? I went back to the store. Any rate, but I want you to get an idea how they were probably looking at him, because it says they were looking at him intently. They were looking at him with such a gaze and such a focus. They were trying to figure out what just happened. And it says, and then they began to speak the scriptures. Then he began to speak to them. The scriptures you've just heard has been fulfilled this day. Verse 22, everyone spoke well of him and was amazed by the gracious words that came from his lips. Watch this, y'all. Everyone was amazed and gracious. How can this be, they asked. Hold on. I swear I just read that it said they spoke well of him, they were amazed, and they were great by the gracious words. And then this is what was said. How can this be? Isn't this Joseph's son? For me, that doesn't sound like people that were amazed and gracious. These sound like people that were cynical. These people sound a little bit sometimes like you and I. But really, these sound like people that you and I have had to deal with to get to where we are. I'm going to say it again. These are people that we've had to deal with to get to where you are. It is not by accident. It is not by coincidence that you are where you are in this moment. The Father brought you here. He has brought you through to this moment. And so, meanwhile, while you've had to smile politely, looking at some folks, smiling, going, thank you. While the next thing you know, you turn around and they're going, how can that be? Isn't that Joseph's son? Isn't that the kid next door? Didn't we grow up with him? Wasn't he the one that stole from us? Wasn't he the one that cheated us? Wasn't he the one that two-timed a bunch of people? Wasn't he the cheater? But we'll continue on. He said, you'll undoubtedly quote me this proverb. Physicians, heal yourself, meaning do miracles here in your hometown like you did in Capernaum. They're referring back to the moment when he went to Capernaum for a wedding feast and turned water into wine. It was the very first miracle that he had did that his mother had actually asked him to do. And I had spoke on that some other time, but I'm not going to get into that one right now. It says, but I tell you the truth, no prophet is accepted in his hometown. Certainly, there were many needy widows in Israel in Elijah's time. When the heavens were closed for 3.5 years in a severe famine devastated in the land. Yet Elijah was not sent to any of them. He was sent instead to a foreigner, a widow in the land of Zidon. And there were many lepers in Israel at the time, and the prophet Elijah, at the time of the prophet Elijah, but only one was healed, Naaman, in Syrian. When they heard this, the people in the synagogue were furious. Guys, all Jesus did was just say, hey, y'all, y'all could have been doing something. Everything that I just said about the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He was saying, y'all could have done something too. Now, I picked some people, and they did some things that I asked them to do because that was received and it was needed in those moments. But what did you do? See, I found to understand that the rejection that we go through and the rejection that even I've experienced in my life, and that I know some of you are watching, tuning in now and tuning in later, that will have experienced and have experienced from the church, from religious leaders, from our friends, from jobs, from co-workers, from different things. I have found that when it gets to the point when it says they were furious, they're not angry at who you are. They're angry at what they are not. They're angry at what they are not. They've become furious because God has anointed you to do something. You decided to step out in the crazy boldness that you got and decided to do it. And all of a sudden now they want to say something again about how you shouldn't, what you shouldn't do, why you're disqualified from it, and why you need to be on the outskirts of it. There was what the whole Pharisee and the religious sect kept trying to do was say, hey, you can't do that. Only God can do that. You're not allowed to do that. Don't you know who you are? What they're saying was, don't you know where you came from? Don't you know that you are Mary and Joseph's son? You don't think that we forgot about Mary and Joseph. Don't think we forgot about your parents. We know where they came from. Your mom got knocked up and had you. And Joseph over there trying to talk about how he your daddy. They haven't been convinced. They haven't allowed the stigma of what happened to change anything. They're still using what happened with Mary as an excuse whether or not they wanted to receive Jesus for who he really was or not. It's like when you get a letter that's not yours and you return to sender, send him back. Why is he back in our hometown? We grew up with him. We had to listen to him probably talk all the time about his dad. And here the whole time he was probably talking about Father in heaven and not Joseph. And they got tired of hearing it. But it says they were furious and they jumped up and they mobbed him. And think about this. They mobbed him and forced him to the edge of a hill, which was on to the edge of the hill on which the town was built. In other words, they made him get all the way, they pushed him all the way from inside the town to the outskirts of the town to the edge of the cliff. To the edge of the cliff. They were so mad and so angry at him, all because of who he was. All because he decided to do what Daddy asked him to do. And all Dad is asking you to do is just do what he asks you to do. Just do what he asked you to do. Dad is for you. In fact, he already knew the road that you would walk. He already knew the rejection that you would face. He already knew the people that would despise you and become furious against you. He already knew the people that would come up with a scroll like this and not read the word, but they're reading a laundry list of why you're the kid next door and that's all you'll ever be. You'll never be anything else, is what they keep saying. But you gotta know that he is for you and not against you. That he is the one that set everything in motion. And we have a choice to either allow the rejection to cripple us. See, it could have crippled Jesus and had him be thrown over the cliff, or he could have rose up in the presence of the Father and walked through. Because it says they intended to push him over a cliff, but he passed right through the crowd and went on his way. I don't know if that makes sense to you, because I sat there for a moment. I said, hold on. We're talking about a crowd, talking about a mob of people. We're talking about a bunch of angry people. So we got a bunch of angry, shouting, mobbing people, pushing, shoving, and yet he walked through the crowd and went on his way. Like nothing ever happened. Like, see you, y'all. Peace. One that speaks to the divinity and the power of God that preserved him. It speaks to the divinity and the power of God that protected him. It speaks to his destiny was greater than the moment he was in. Your destiny is greater than the moment you're in. See, that's where Brian got to come in.
Jesus, this is good.
That's our little sound bite. I don't know if y'all heard that, but that's a little sound bite that my boy Brian. So he in Texas with his family, but he here in spirit. So, but anyway, we're gonna use that sound bite a little more often.
This is good.
And again for fun. All right. Anyway, but I love it. Here, for the peoples in the house. They gotta hear it too.
Jesus, this is good.
There we go. All right. Sorry, I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to go there. But here's the thing. I sat there and I began to really think about it, because I said, okay, how many times has it felt like in my life, and how many times has it felt like in your life, that you've been stamped with return to sender? You've been stamped to the kid next door. You've been stamped to reject. You've been stamped can't amount to nothing. You will always be this. You'll always be your past. How many times have you been stamped and been stuck in what feels like a mob of people coming against you, and you're at the edge of the cliff, and you're looking at Dad, and you're looking at the Father in heaven, and you saying, Jesus, either you gonna bring me through this, or I'm gonna go the other way. And the other way for me right now is I'm done. I'm backing out. I'm gonna sit down. I live and forget everything that you ever said. I don't want it. I didn't ask for it anyway. So it's better for me to just go off on the backside of this cliff than to have to keep dealing with what's in front of me. But see, God's so good that he goes, you know what? Ho, 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 ho. Before you do something so crazy and so rash, let me protect you. Let me preserve you. Let me conceal you and hide you in this moment, or remove you from the mob, so that way I can re-reveal you, and I can repurpose you. I can reposition you in a place that once wasn't able to hear you, but I'm going to send you back into your hometown. And even though they knew you as the kid next door, I'm going to show them that you came to fulfill the letter of the law. I'm going to show you that you came to fulfill the wishes of what I said in the Old Testament, that the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, and I came to anoint you, to preach the good news, and to heal the sick, and to bring freedom to the captive. See, he's saying some of that to you, and he says some of that to us, which is why we're doing what we're doing. But there's some of you that have been so stuck and so crippled, feeling stuck in the middle of the mob, and he's saying, stand up. Rise up, because I called you to speak. I called you to go back into the hometown. I called you to look back at them and say, I love you with the love of Jesus, but I don't have to listen to your naysaying. I don't have to listen to your negativity, because I know what my Father in heaven has spoken about me and what he has said over me, and I have to obey it, and I have to do it, because at the end of the day, he wrote the blueprint of my life when he formed the world. Even before he created me in my mother's womb, he spoke it into existence, and he said, son and daughter, you're going to do that. But sometimes I got to pull you out of that crowd and let you move through unscathed by the touching of them, but it doesn't remove the wound of them. See, we can move from the physical part of it, but it doesn't remove the wound that happens. And see, we've learned, and even Jesus said it himself, look, if they despise me, if they rejected me, do you not think that they will you also? In fact, he's really saying, because they did me, expect it for you. Expect it for you. But see, when you can take those wounds, you can take those moments that hurt, because believe me, they hurt. Y'all, they hurt. When people you love turn their back on you. Let me tell you a story. This is like confession true story night with Common Ground. So any rate, there was a moment, and I was serving at a church here, and I'm not going to say the name. It's none of y'all's business. So don't. I was serving in a place, and God said to me, I want you to go to your pastor and sit with them. And I want you to sit with them and tell them that, hey, I've been with you for X amount of years. You've spoken word over my life. You've prayed over me. Others have come and anointed us, spoke word over our life. And so I'm asking you, as a son of this house, I need a daddy to help me understand and move me into position and grow me into the things that I need to. See, we all need a daddy. We need a daddy that will sit with us, and a daddy that will not only correct us, but will also teach us, that will take the correction into teaching to make us better for the next moment that we come in contact with. And I said, hey, I need you to, you're the father of this house. and I submit to you and I submit to this house. You know that I've been here and I've been serving and I've been all these things. And I had this gentleman whom I still respect and I love, and I pray the best of God for him because he has a call of God on their life. Said, son, we've been praying for those that are already ready, those that are already equipped to come and join us. In other words, he said, I don't have time to develop you because what I'm looking for is already ready made. I want ready made. I don't want to develop. Can I tell you, that hurts. When you're in a place that you love because you love him, and he says, hey, I want you to be there. And you're like, okay, cool. I'm here and I'm doing. And he says, now I want you to say that. Okay. And then the knife comes. It wasn't touched physically, but it touched in here. It touched in here where it said, God, I left this in Rockford. I left this in my hometown. What? Why? Why again? He says, son, just continue to serve. Continue to serve? Yeah, continue to serve. Why? Because what they do ain't got nothing to do with me. What I do has everything to do with me and him. See, we get so caught up in these moments where we want to. Jesus could have easily, y'all, he the Son of God. He could have easily, he could have wiped them out, shut them up, blinky lighted them.
Floated on the cloud.
Floated on the, I mean, there's so many, he'd have been like, see, I'm going to go off the cliff anyway, like, but I'll just float away. I mean, there's so many things that Jesus could have done. But God hid him to have him pass back through. And then he went, then the next place he went, man, it was like lights out. God just blew up the place in miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle. But the thing is, the question I need to ask you in this moment is, can you stand to look crazy while everyone else seems to be going where they're going, but it ain't where you're called to go? It seems like that's the way that you should go, but it ain't where he told you to go. Can you stand alone and look crazy amongst the people, where they're all just looking at you and mobbing you, and you just going, it really hurts that you would say that. But see, what I've learned through this moments that I've had to walk through is it's made me so much better. Because one of the reasons we exist is refuge for the broken and water for the thirsty. And one of the things is look, I broke, you broke. No, I'm not talking financially. I'm talking about we all have areas in our life and in our hearts that are broken. I don't care how many times that you have gone through. Have you ever had that moment where you're like, you've said this, I thought I was over that. I thought we already dealt with this. Yes. Jesus, what? Why? Why? Because there's always another layer. There's always another portion where God just says, hey, there's just a little bit left. Just a little bit left that I need to take out and to remove. I mean, there was a time when I knew what God called me to do. I couldn't wait to tell everyone, just to be like, haha. Now I'm like, man, I just want to help God be seen in other people and allow other people to be seen that are overlooked. It's one of the reasons why we exist. It's one of the reasons why God asked us to be common ground. No, not just the church common ground, to be common ground. It starts with us. It starts with you that's a part of this. It starts with you that watches. It starts with you that joins in with other watch parties and shares this with your friends. It starts with those that are in this house and those that watch from afar. Your common ground. And when you're common ground, You're bringing anointing of good news to the poor. You're proclaiming that the captive is free. You're seeing the blind see again. You're seeing the captive and you're seeing the oppressed set free, because the time of the year of the Lord's favor is on you and it's on us. See, we all got a little bit of dysfunction. Some of us might have a little bit more, some of us might have a little bit less, but here's the bottom denominator. Jesus is needed for both. And that's why we're common ground. And so since Jesus is needed for both, it don't matter how much or how little. It just means that we both need Jesus. And that puts us on common ground. And so for you that are watching, you that have tuned in, and you're like, whoa, man, what is going on there? Oh, we got past the technical difficulties. Thank God. But here we are. You need a safe place to heal. You need people that will believe in you, even if you just walked in the door high as all get out. Even if you just walked in the church drunk as all get out. Even if you just slept with someone right before you walked in. Even before you tuned on and you watched this. You need people that aren't here to judge you about that, but to believe that God has better for you and that will see you through without making you feel that brokenness. To bring you to a place of healing in Him. Amen. You have that safe place here. You have that with Leandra and with Milk and Honey on Fridays and reaching out and being a part of us. You have it with us on Tuesday Talks and here on Common Ground on Thursday home meetings, second and fourth Thursday. And you have it in any way that you want it by just connecting. Mm-hmm. See, the problem is we've been hurt. Let's just be honest. We've been so hurt that wanting to connect is like, nope, see ya, peace, deuces, y'all. I'm not doing it. Don't talk to me about it. I don't want to have anyone. Cool. But here's the deal. We're not going to make you feel less than in it. And that's what you need. What you need is someone that will look at you and that says, I love you as you are, and I will help you through this and not abandon you no matter how bad it gets. See, that's Jesus. That's Jesus. That was Judas. Jesus to Judas. That was Jesus to Peter. That was Jesus to the Pharisees. That was Jesus. That's Jesus. So if it's anything other than Jesus, you don't want it. And Jesus uses people like us to love you, to see you through. That not everyone is out to get you. And not everyone wants to squash you in your gifting and the calling and the anointing that's on your life. In fact, I call you to be a part of us, and we will help you get there. See, David was in a cave, running away from Saul, ran out of the kingdom, ran out of the palace into a cave. And all of a sudden, all of these people start coming. Oh, David's over there. David. What does it say? It was who you would never entrust with nothing in your life. Nothing. Broken, dysfunctional, cheats, liars, you name it, that's who these guys were. But David loved them right where they were, gained their loyalty, and they began to take back the kingdoms and the places that God had called them to. He eventually got back into the palace to be king in front of the people. He was already anointed king in that moment, but he was now king in front of the eyes of the people. And so why do I say that? Come to the cave called Common Ground and get healed. Come to the cave called Ian and be healed. Come to the cave called Leandra and be healed. Come to the cave called Lewis, called Brian, called Regina. Be healed. Come to that safe place. Come to the people that you can confide in and have safety that even though others have looked at you as the kid next door, that they will tell you what God sees and help you see that in yourself again. Got to believe in yourself again. So, let's see. Seeing if there was any comments. Let's see. We can throw these. Boop. There we go. A little comment action for people. They can see what's going on. Anyway, sorry, I'm over here just playing with stuff. All right, here's the deal. We're gonna try some worship again. We're gonna try one more song, y'all, with our boy. Yeah. So let's see.
That was a powerful message. I kept telling myself, don't say anything, and I'm not going to say much. But I know I'm not the only one that heard this tonight that was holding back tears and letting them flow multiple times. So just let healing flow. Thank you, Pastor Ian. Thank you, Leandra. Oh, soul, are you weary and troubled? No light in the darkness you see. There's a light. Oh, look at the Savior. A light for one dead and free. Turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in His wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of His glory and grace. Oh soul, are you weary and troubled? No light in the darkness you see. There's a light, and to look at the Savior, and the light more abundant and free. Turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in His wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of His glory and grace. Just one last time. Oh, turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in His wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of His glory and grace.
Sorry, y'all. I was super animated, and my mic was muted. So, again, thank you so much for being here and a part. And man, Matthew, that was just amazing. Worship has been just ridiculous tonight. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have to come and fly out there and spend some time with you, and we're gonna have to do some video and some stuff out there. Just saying. So hopefully you got room on the floor in your apartment. We'll talk later about that. I'm putting him on the spot, but no one else can see him, so it's okay. We love you, man. But at any rate, I was saying before I realized I don't think my microphone's on. Thank you, Holy Spirit, that I want to pray. For you guys. So Father, thank you so much for everyone that's been watching and that is tuning in and that watches this later. And as I was saying, Father, that we've seen a lot and we've heard a lot, God, over our years and even in this moment, God, but we need to feel the word. We need to feel the worship, feel your presence, Father, that we don't want to just live off of a place that is historical in the presence and in your anointing and in your power, God. We want to experience it, God. So I pray right now for everyone that has been watching, everyone that will watch this later, God, that they have experienced your presence and your anointing. God, that as we talked about tonight, God, that they would be able to see and rise up, that the Spirit of the Lord is upon them. And I tell you now, step forward into the things that God has asked you to do. It is no longer time for you to sit back and delay. Yes, I said David was in the cave, but there was a moment where he had to come out. There was a moment when Elijah was hiding in a cave and he had to come out. And so what God is trying to tell you right now is you're not falling off the cliff. You're not hiding in a cave no more, but it is time to step forward and to step up. It's time to get into the things that I've spoken to you. It's time to do the things that I've asked you to do. Yes, it might seem small in what you're doing now, but yet I'm telling you it will grow into something even greater. But you got to start. You got to continue. You got to pick it back up. Some of you have left it lying dormant on the ground. You were like Jesus at the edge of the cliff with a mob attacking you, and you said, I'm done bearing it right here. Peace. Deuces, y'all. Jesus, I'm done with it. But he's telling you tonight to pick it back up. Go back to that place and pick it back up. No, I'm not saying go back and deal and have them reject you. I'm telling you in the spiritual realm, I'm telling you in the spirit, in the comfort of your home, in your job, in the bathroom, in your car, wherever you got to do it. When you hear this, you say, Jesus, I pick it back up. Jesus, I pick it back up. Jesus, I pick it back up, and I will move forward in the things that you've asked me to do. Father, I pray right now, all of those that have been watching, all those that have watched in the past, that have watched now, that will watch in the future, if you feel broken, if you have parts in your life and you've been rejected by society, you've been rejected by the church, you've been rejected by religious people, I tell you to come. Talk to us. Meet with us. Most importantly, because we're going to help you see Jesus for who Jesus really is. Not this fabricated Jesus, not the fake religion, not the Pharisee Jesus, but Jesus that says, I love you. I love you. And yes, I'm pointing right at you because I need you to understand that that is him. That is how he is. He says, I love you where you are in the brokenness, in the despair, right where you are. I don't care what you just did. I don't care what you're thinking about doing next that you will do or you're doing even while you're watching this or will do right after it. He still says, I love you so much that I'm for you and not against you. And I've brought people like Ian and Leandra, and I've brought people like Brian and Lewis and Reggie, and those that are a part of Common Ground to tell you, you have a safe place. You have a place where you can heal, a place where you can become whole again, without judgment. Without judgment. I'm telling you, I know stories of people in the room. I know my own story. So I don't even need to know nobody else's story. I know my own story, Law. Look, until you have to apologize to your kids and send them off to school and say, have a good day, even though you were mad at them and you lost. Look, I'm not perfect. I was praying. I'm not perfect, Jesus. So let them see and understand. But really know that Jesus is for you. Father, bless these people. Bless them. And, okay, y'all, so I don't like doing this. Okay, I'm just telling you. But I'm doing it because, again, like we said, there are things that he's asked us to do. It has nothing to do with what I want. It has everything to do with what he wants. And it has everything to do with things that I know other people that God has spoken to for them to be obedient. Okay? So, anyway. But here's the truth. Giving is a principle of God, and it helps us do what we're doing. We know probably why we had some glitches today. We know what we need to do to fix that. That takes funds. And so, guys, we just want to say thank you, honestly, because of your giving, we've been able to increase and get things like this. Because of this, we want to be able to do things outside from here and work with other people as well. Matthew's one of them. Also, here's the thing. We are able to bless our community so much because of your generosity. Not a dime of this pays my wife and I. No. Not a dime of what you give for that. Now, I know on the flip side, there are some of you God has spoken to come alongside and partner with us on a greater level to see some of these additional things move into more full-time. Look, y'all, we are in a digital realm, and in a digital age. You can pull this screen off now. We are in a digital space, and a digital space has a lot of stuff with a lot of people. But here's the thing, not all of it is fruitful. Not all of it is feeling the presence of God where you are. And we want to make sure that that is a reality for you. And so this will not change. How it looks, the background, different things, that can change and that will change. But we will never stop loving you through our digital aerospace until we get to meet in person. And so, and we're going to do some things here probably in the coming months or so where we'll start just having some community time online on Zoom or something, just so all of you that are afar, we can connect with you and put a face with some of the names other than just scrolling your Facebook or Instagram feeds. And so, we look forward to that. Guys, I mean, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else that you want to share, Mighty Woman?
No.
Okay. So, hey, if you're in the Denver metro area, or even if you're not, because again, we're digital, Denver metro area, I have an honor of speaking at Mean Street Ministry Worship Center, Mean Street Worship Center this Sunday morning at 10:15 a.m. And so if you're in the Denver metro, come join us and worship together with us. Let us hug your neck if you're okay with that still. We'll at least fist bump you. Anyway, we just want to see you. But we want you to just come and hear the word of God. We're excited about that. They will have it on their Facebook page. So that is Mean Street Worship Center. You can find them. You can also find them through just what we've been posting as well to know what their logo and stuff looks like. So we're going to be there Sunday morning, 10:15 a.m. We're hoping, praying by the grace of God to have our equipment there as well. So to be able to do that for you guys as well on Common Ground and Facebook and YouTube and all that jazz. So that is that. Guys, Tuesday Talks. But before Tuesday Talks,
Milk and honey.
we got milk and honey on Friday for all the ladies. My wife will be putting that up, so be watching for that. And as always, reach out to us. We love you guys. Have an amazing week, and we're here for you if you need us. We'll talk to you soon. All right, well, the mouse is stuck again, so here we are, y'all. Anyway, we love you. Real.